Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's me, it's the robe, and it's Justin in his. I don't know. I don't have a song. Let's go straight to the headline.
Thank God.
Shlomo. I'm jealous of that first name. Shlomo Benartzi makes a call for smart defaults. Yes, this comes from the National Association of Plan Advisors 401k Summit in San Diego, California.
Hey, did anybody know that was going on if you went onto LinkedIn at all? Like, because I had no idea.
No.
I will say I do have to make a little bit of a comment because we used to give Chad a lot of shit about this. Like when we would go do Retireholics events, he would go crazy on Instagram, and then like it would never happen when in his personal life.
Right.
There are a lot of people who attend this show who don't post anything on LinkedIn, but boy, when they go to those conferences, they are just firing away.
Gotta know.
I think not entire, but you're right, Mark. Like 90% of my LinkedIn kind of flow down is all just NAPA stuff. Oh.
But see, part of me, this is my defense mechanism to be like, man, but at the same time, I'm like, sad because we weren't there.
We're gonna talk about it later. It looked like a lot of happy vibes going on from all the cool pictures and everything.
Yep.
I definitely feel bad that I didn't get to see the Nevin and Fred live podcast stream. That would have been a goal of mine. Nevin says it was amazing. He's not biased or anything. It was the best. Okay. Great.
I think with them, our chances of getting invited to NAPA just really went down the drain.
Yeah, wait till after today. We might never be invited back again.
Sorry,
okay.
I'm pulling it up right now.
So Shlomo, who, by the way, is starting to warm up to me a little bit. He never responded to me before. Now we've got a little conversation happening in LinkedIn, and I'm working my angles to get him on the pod. He says, look, defaults are great. Secure 2.0, there he is. I love that picture. Secure 2.0, phenomenal. This automatic enrollment thing, automatic increase thing, these are all pro Shlomo types of things. But now he's kind of hitting us with what he kind of titles Secure 3.0, and the fact that we need to have, here, I'll just read this. There's a couple articles. There's one at Nevin's site there. And there's one at 4K Specialist Magazine. And the 4K Specialist Mag one, the opening paragraph goes as such. If setting every community up for retirement, what's the end of it? I forget. 2.0 was about leaking behavioral economics. The default with its provision requirement, automatic enrollment, and the new retirement plans, Secure 3.0, needs to be about making smart defaults. This comes straight from Shlomo. So, Mark, does Shlomo believe that the current defaults are dumb? And what do you think he means by smarter defaults? Because I have an idea. Put me on the spot.
No, I don't. Look, again, you're trying to make me say something I shouldn't. But no, he doesn't think they're dumb. I just think he thinks that they can be improved. I'll take the politically correct way out of that.
And he thinks they can be improved because we live in a world now where we have access to participant data. And so I didn't hear him speak. I'm just reading from this article and some of his comments. But what he's saying is, hey, if we've got individual data on people, maybe we can make some defaults for some people and some other defaults for some other people. I'll give an example. Yeah. And this is from this article, if you're a participant who has a lot of credit card debt or just debt in general, and maybe there's not even a matching contribution at your 401k plan, maybe you should have a different default in terms of putting in 3% versus 7% versus 10 than someone else who doesn't have any debt and has a company match. You see how they
customized and strategic default, not just a one size fits all default.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, so long as that's a slippery slope. So long as the participants educated on it and they know what they're they're doing kind of, and they fit in that category. But can't you see a scenario where, I mean, I'm a fan of it, don't get me wrong, I like it actually, but where someone, just says, okay, this is the default I'm going to be in, and completely fucks that up and tries to blame their plan sponsor or financial advisor or anything like that?
Well, that's what go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say, you're probably going to go a different angle, but what happens when some defaults are more expensive than others? Then we're going to get into this whole idea of fees again, and how is that fair, one versus another? You're put into this where you could have gone here, and it could create some complexities.
It seems like, from a fiduciary standpoint, kind of a dangerous path to head down, right? If you're gonna do different things for different participants, I would think you'd be putting your ass hanging out in the wind for someone to critique those and say that you were wrong in some way. Whereas it seems safer. I'd be curious, like, what if that was discussed for anyone that was there that's in the chat, but right now, like the fiduciary liability around smarter defaults. So yeah, I worry about that. Shlomo also talked about that, hey, 3% is great. Actually, I don't know if he said that, but because he says, look, if you auto-enroll people at 7%, his research says that they still will stay in. Like, they will not leave at 7%. Yeah. He even goes so far as to say, fuck, if you put them in at 10%, they'll stay in. And so let me ask you guys this, like, okay, Shlomo, that's great, but does that mean that that's what we should be doing? Is automatically enrolling someone for 10% of their pay? Because they might not back out, but maybe they can't fucking pay rent next month or some shit. Like, that's a pretty big number to be auto-enrolling someone in. You're a man of the people, Roby. Come on. If I automatically enrolled you at 10%, gotta feel a bit invasive, no?
Well, again, yes, I speak the word of the people, JD, but I also am a person who believes that you need to be responsible and accountable for every aspect of your life. So if you are auto-enrolling me at 10%, I should be paying attention. And if that doesn't make sense for me, I should be adjusting that down. Yeah, I don't see a problem. The percentage to me is irrelevant. I don't care what people do. If that's it is what it is. Great research shows the higher you go, the opt-out rates still are fairly low. Fine, whatever. But I'm not. Yeah, I don't.
But the problem with that concept is, Mark, is that I think in Shlomo's research, what they've found is most
participants. Yeah, Nevin, we're very clear of that, buddy. We're not idiots.
But here goes Nevin. But they can opt out. But what Shlomo tells us is they don't.
They won't.
And so
right.
What that means is that they're not doing what Mark said. They're not looking at it. They're not assessing their own personal finances. They're just procrastinating and not doing jack shit. And that's where these behavioral finance people attack, and I know they're doing good. They're not the evil people.
But okay, but hold on here. We're trying to bridge the gap here, right? Those changes like that actually helps do that, right? Especially if we're worried about what Brian's talking about, and if there's an industry trying to bridge that gap, they're gonna learn. Just like you're gonna learn not to touch a child learns not to touch a hot plate, So
would you say you're not supposed to touch a child?
That issue.
Don't touch a child with a hot plate, Mark. Fair enough, but let's not be insensitive.
Who is again? I'll just be honest. I didn't read the article, but who is Shlomo calling out here? Like, who is he pinpointing to be the advocates for sort of navigating this smarter default, that kind of thing?
Shlomo and another dude, someone help me out in the chat bar, were instrumental in creating automatic enrollment as a thing way back in the day. Thank you. Thaler, back in the late 90s or whatever. And so the industry, the government, they look to him and his research. He's also a big part of everything that we've been doing with automatic enrollment and the increases and financial wellness and trying to talk to participants. So he's just one of those, sorry for the word, thought leaders that everyone in the industry looks to. So when Secure, when Secure 2.0 comes out and he looks at it and he wraps his brain around it all, he starts thinking about what's next. That's all. What's next,
Right, but I'm saying, like, hey, I want smarter defaults. Is he saying that's going to be the role of mutual fund companies? Is he looking at them to say, hey, you guys need to come together and start figuring out better ways, better investment offerings versus looking at like advisors or
No,
who's
yeah,
he?
I think he wants advisors, record keepers, and the industry as a whole to be like, hey, let's do this. I want to bring this up to you. Okay, let's say you believe in Shlomo. Like, he's a smart guy. Everyone in the chat bar believes he's a smart guy, except for when he's choosing glasses. And so he says to you, hey, look, I'm just going to go with 8%. You should auto-enroll at 8%.
I thought
And
that
then-
was Chad at first, to be honest.
and then
I can wish.
he also believes that the auto increase of like 1% every year, every 365 days should actually be quicker. Like he's talking smack about like go 2% every 90 days or something. So imagine you're an advisor.
I think it's a bit much.
And you walk into some of your biggest clients and you say, hey, everyone, fiduciary review today. Great. I've been hanging out with this Shlomo guy, and here's the smart thing to do. We're going to auto enroll everyone at 8%, and we're going to auto increase them at, I won't go to 2, at 1% every fucking 3 months. How do you think your clients would react to that?
They would panic.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the
Imagine
difference.
the administrative nightmares with that.
Yeah. They would say,
And
"Quinn,
all the
are you
clients
going to
have
do
to
that
put
for
up
me?"
with. Yeah.
The tech can
Are
do
you,
it. I guess.
exactly.
But
Hey,
you're right. Go ahead, Chad.
You know, I never go on this side, but I'll go to the other side of it. I think if you're backing it with behavioral finance and you're talking about the implications it will have on the retirement outcomes, and you're positioning this with proper education, that, hey, it's a new way of thinking. And I imagine we all said this when he rolled out back in the early days with auto enroll and auto escalation at the beginning. Haters are going to hate, but I think that if you're an advisor looking to differentiate and you believe in this, find a way to support it within your practice and pitch it.
I should know better. Chat bar or anyone here, let me know, like, where does the auto increase stop at? Does it stop at 10% or somewhere north of that in the
I
legislation?
think 2.0 dropped to 15 now, right?
Which is it?
Yeah.
Hackler or Web 15? I get a lot more 15s.
I think it's 15 now.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty intense, bro. I think if you take someone who's making $50,000 a year and you believe that they're going to procrastinate and not do anything, and you auto enroll them at say 7% and you increase them every 3 months, like Shlomo wants you to get them to like fucking 15.
When
I
I
don't
read
know.
that, I don't know if I
all depends on
interpreted
the
it as
individual.
increasing it like every 3 months. I interpreted that the first increase should be that quickly.
Oh, interesting.
That's
I
the way
thought
I
I read it.
interpreted how JD said, like quarterly.
You were just saying 365 seems
Oh,
too slow.
Haven't confirmed.
What is Chad's right? Chad's right. So just like
You-
quick one, huh?
Chad,
Just at the
yeah.
start. Well,
Just
that's
start,
silly. To me, that's stupider. Like, just put them in at fucking 9% then. Don't start them at 7. Like, that's dumb. That makes no sense at all. You're gonna auto
Agreed.
roll someone at a
Yep.
percent, and then 3 months later you're gonna up it. Just up it the first time, you fucking dumb shit. Like, that makes no sense. No sense.
I agree 100% with that.
I think his thought there
What
is if
if
you
his
get a
thoughts
90
just to kind of
days,
ease into it and then get him used
Chad,
to it?
we don't want logical thoughts. Please stop talking. We're done with
Justin
that.
just was giving logical. If you
Yeah.
got 90 days to opt out, I think he's saying if they don't opt out within 90 days, like that's go in at 6% or 7. If they don't
Oh.
opt out within 90 days, then bump them
Then
up
bump it. Okay.
because they've chosen not to opt out.
That's a nice try to save there, but that's still kind of dumb.
That also seems worse to me because they didn't opt out because they were okay with 6. So now you're going to jump them to 8, and now they can't use the 90-day pullback provision at that point because they're outside of 90 days.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I will tell
don't
you
like
this.
that as much.
I'm not saying it's right, but we can put this subject to bed here. But of the fiduciary review meetings that I sit on, and I sit on some bigger client ones, some of those clients are still struggling with automatic enrollment in terms of whether they pull the trigger. And I had one big client that was struggling with 3%. Now, mind you, the advisor and I went hard and strong and told them why, but I don't think plan sponsors line up with us industry people in terms of what they think is okay. And I realized that should be our job to teach them. And yeah, we went hard and strong. Is it to teach them and show them what's right and show them that, hey, people really do need to be saving 10% or more of their income. I totally get all that. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't necessarily line up with what
It's going to become the norm. It obviously has to.
We'll see.
So I think we're worried about something that we really have no control over now at all, obviously.
let's
And
see
our
if
battle in the past has always been what's
They're
what's
not going to
do
know any better in
JD.
5 years.
Yeah, fair enough. And like Nevin said, they can always opt out.
No, he yelled that at us in all caps.
All caps.
Yeah. He's very angry right now.
Hey, I sent the show notes to Brandon in all caps today, and he goes, "Fucker, can you? I want to put these out on like YouTube and whatever. Can you not send them in all caps?" And I go, just go ask Chat GPT. I'll drink to put it back from all caps into regular. And he wrote me back and he goes, "I tried and it put it all in lowercase. A fucking dumb shit." Like, pancakes, huh? That's what we had last week.
Oh,
pancakes.
do I have an old one? I pulled up the last one I had.
It's good. It's good. I like pancakes. Brian Graf, but a beer. Well, let's see. The National Association of Plan Advisors has an article titled "Graf Battles Ahead Over Future of America's Retirement System." We talked about this 2 weeks ago. He does this big keynote. I think I can call it the keynote. Calls it "From the Hill to the Summit." That's creative. I like that. Applaud for that. That's a great little
Well,
name
better than
for
this
this
podcast
speech.
name.
Wait, are you being serious?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
From
I
the
think it's
hill
good.
to the summit. I think that's
What
pretty
What do you think about it, Mark?
I was just curious.
Just say it.
Do not be mistaken. Brian Graf is a phenomenal speaker, so I'm sure he did a great job. I wasn't there. I've had some people tell me that it was a good deal, but what did he do? This seems to be an MO for him a lot. Oh shit, that's got to be a thing.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Operanda or something.
He's scared the shit out of everyone. Hackler told me he was scared to the chilled to the bones.
That's not surprising.
He's basically saying, look, you've got this bipartisan group of politicians supported by, and Mark, you said this last week, I laughed, but the Napster guy's in there somewhere in some association that's kind of helping push this along, which I still think's funny, Sean Parker. But anyways, you got this group that Brian seems to be very, very concerned about, that wants to implement this, government run future of the retirement program, which would not have ERISA liability, I'll drink. Would be run by the government, so it would be like, I don't know, super low cost in some sense. And then worse in my mind, you'd get this like government match or something along with it. We've talked about this, but now here is Graf up in front of, the biggest conference in our industry, telling everyone to watch out for this. Now, is this just what he does? I mean, Nevin's here. I'm sure she's going to say absolutely not. And let me be clear before I say something stupid, which I probably will. Love the American Retirement Association. Love everything they do for us. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm not just trying to kiss ass. But isn't this Brian Graf's job to keep us scared so we keep funneling money to their PAC? That's got to be an acronym. Sorry. And like, it's supporting him and suckling on the teat of the American Retirement Association.
Well, JD, I never thought of it that way, but now that you've said it, now I think,
that foil hat anymore?
Yeah, I know, right? I think you need to take a different approach on your foil hat.
I
Yeah.
think
Any thoughts?
if they're not trying to give us the truth, which this is, which happens to be scary, then they're not doing their job. And so I don't necessarily agree with the point, but I do think that this is a relevant topic. Grant's threw in the chat, didn't we have this 10 years ago? And I said, yeah. And that's why we need to be addressing it again now. We need to continue to voice our opinion as to why this should be privatized and not a public sector product.
What would everyone say to this concept? JD sleeps well at night. He puts his head on his pillow, not worried about the future of 401k plans because Fidelity, Vanguard, Initial Morgan, Charles Schwab, Wall Street in general, just all these just deep-pocketed Fortune 500 financial institutions that make so much money from the 401k retirement plan system. Don't they have power in Washington don't these lobbyists or these people like fucking, there's no way on earth they would let the government strip that business model away from them. Like,
Well,
is that weird for me to say?
Not at all. And Webby made that point in the chat bar that the mutual fund companies who would go under if the 401k space went away have a lot of power too. And Nevin followed it right up with, yeah, but there's a lot of money backing this effort now, and there wasn't 10 years ago. And so I think we're going to see a massive fight over this topic.
Nevin in the chat bar answered what I thought would be the typical answer, which is, oh, well, they'll still get to invest the money from that plan. Well, yeah, maybe, but just some of them. I mean, we don't know what that looks like. I definitely don't think, I know you know this, Nevin, they don't want that outcome. They don't want the outcome you're talking about where they'd be running the money for the government plan, because that could just be slivers compared to what they're doing now. And who wins those differences. So anyways, to me, I really feel like there's some truth in what I just said. Now, do I want the power of all those firms and Brian Graf, the American Retirement Association, going to bat for me? Absolutely, I do. And I will say this, I was literally in the ocean thinking about this. And the first thought I had was, do we need to support them and like try to get more money their way? Do I need to go sit and throw fucking $5,000 at this or whatever? So it's got me thinking about that kind of shit. I'm sure they're well funded. I don't know, but
well,
maybe
tell me,
that's my public service announcement right now.
Is the thought that a public offering is going to bridge the coverage gap because it's going to be mandatory?
Yeah, and you brought up coverage gap the same time Nevin put it in, and that's good because we hadn't talked about that yet. Is this
Nevin feeds Chad all the information?
Yeah, he's in my other ear right now.
This is what you should add.
Is this a pressure moment for us as an industry and Secure 2.0 to like work? Is this how we save 401k? We go back in there in a year and say, look, we're crushing it on the coverage gap. Like all these, we don't need you to help. I did see some of that in Brian's comments and in the writings.
But I guess what I'm getting at is if they think they can do it better, what is it that they're going to do different? And the only thing I can come up with at this point, and I'm not nearly as smart as everyone else, is that they're going to make it a mandate. It's going to be forced. And you can still do that and leave the private sector in place if the effort is to bridge the coverage gap. We don't have to try to take this in-house with a group of generations of Americans that are fearful of Social Security to begin with, and the fact that we're leaving that in the government's hands. I don't think the average American wants this to go into a federal system.
I would almost like to see, maybe this is what you're talking about, Chad, is take what happened in California and just make it nationally. Like, go ahead, have a national thing, but just allow for, but that's the problem is, and that's why they're upset, is we need to make it somewhat equivalent. Like that free match thing, that's going to be the death of us, bro. Like that's going to be the death of us. If CalSavers was giving California money, government money as a match to people, you guys would be getting your asses handed to you, right?
Well, they are right now. They're doing it essentially for the first 3 years with a credit of $1,000 per employee. But no, and Bill put another point in the chat bar, which is to escape the Employee Retirement Income Security Act and the potential testing. So that is something they could do differently. They could say, screw all that liability, come over here and it'll be cheaper. We'll cover your match and you don't have to worry about testing issues.
I'm not so certain.
Yeah, but what are the limits going to be? Is it going to be attractive to them still? I mean, do we know any of that?
No idea.
No, they have no idea what but yeah, they're not.
Justin, aren't most things that are free pretty attractive?
If they're going to go that far, it's not going to look like,
but we're paying for it.
It's not going to look like some individual retirement account clone. It's going to have normal limits and shit.
You think it's going to be beefed up?
The whole ERISA thing. I'll drink for that. I get sort of, but I don't think a lot of flower shops and auto body shops that would be forced to set up a plan are really worried about their fiduciary responsibility, to be quite honest with you. Like, first of all, we all know that there's no lawsuits in that space. And I just think that's a little bit of an industry myopic kind of look at it. I get it. I understand that's something, but I don't think it's that big of a thing. I just think it would be something that would be low cost. So it would be really affordable. If not free, I mean, if they're going to give you a match, it's probably going to make the whole thing fucking free in some weird way. So anyways,
It's too
I'm
long to
scared.
type it all out, Mark.
I'm scared. I'm totally scared. So we'll keep, I'll send some money to fucking Butterbeer, like pronto. Not that it'll help out. They get all kinds of
Butterbeer, yummy.
Okay, what else we got going on here? I saw a post from Webby on LinkedIn and an article on retirement income. I know. We've talked about this retirement income stuff before. The title of the article is Some Thoughts About Retirement Income Solutions. Yes, from the National Association of Plan Advisors 401k Summit. Looks like we got Bonnie Trickle up on stage. Some other people. Webby's post. Let me pull it up here. Webby. Oh no, I lost it. I'll do it from memory. Webby said that he was worried about the push to make guaranteed income a qualified default investment alternative. I would like to circle back to a concept that is now becoming crystal clear to me. If you see guaranteed income solutions pushing towards making it a default of some kind, I just want to one more time say it. Oh yeah, duh, makes sense. They realize that's the only way they're going to get any fucking traction, because we've talked about this before, right? If you're going to try to educate people and try to stand in a room with 75 participants and teach them about this guaranteed income solution that they can choose, you're going to fall flat on your face in failure. And you're starting to figure that out as an industry. Again, we already figured it out the first time. And so now you're realizing the only way for you to succeed is to force people into this thing. And on Webby's LinkedIn post, he said that scared him. That scares me too. I think that's total bullshit. And I love Wolnowitz, and I don't know who's here tonight that's a big guaranteed income fan. Like, I get it. Yes, you ask participants, do they want to have a guaranteed income in their plan? Do plan sponsors want to have a guaranteed income in their plan? Yeah, when you ask them simple questions like that, their answer is going to be yes, because anyone would answer yes to that. Whether it actually fits in this world, in the way that you're proposing it, I'm not so sure these days. I'm not so sure it's the right thing. And if it's not the right thing because people won't sign up for it, and no matter how hard you try to educate them, pivoting to making it automatic.
Tell me you gotta be. Tell me you got it.
Is in my mind just fucking shameful. Like that, you don't do that. That's a bunch of bullshit.
I think they need to start with eliminating the word guaranteed. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the selling point right there.
But when our trust and how we're compared in our industry so low, the minute you start saying guarantee, you're just lying to me right off the bat. You're trying to trick me, aren't you?
The branding.
Yeah.
I like the branding of it.
JD, let me ask you a question on this. Do you think let's just segment a group of people, the average 401k participant that is north of 50 years old, do you think that a guaranteed solution like this is good for them?
Yes.
Okay, so if we believe that, then why wouldn't we want it to be some sort of a default for that segment of people? If we believe it's the right thing for them, why wouldn't we try to force it?
Would Shlomo agree that this is a smarter default?
I think Shlomo is a fan of, guaranteed income in a process. I don't know that for a fact, but everything would add up that he would be. I like the way you position that, Chad. And I guess maybe what I'm saying is I'm not totally against, because it's a big decision to add an annuity type, guaranteed type thing to your investment portfolio. Like that, to me, that's a big decision. There's additional fees attached to it. There's a lot of kind of pros and cons to it. To me, it's just like, man, you need to just make it an option, and you need to educate people and understand that you're never going to get the lion's share of this shit, and you're only going to get a small percentage of people that see it and want to use it.
Greg just says and my son just walked in the room, so I can't use the full language, but it's expensive. And my thought with that is, if we only get a small sliver into it, it's going to continue to be expensive because there's no economies of scale there. I don't think in the solutions that I've seen recently versus how it was structured 5 years ago with some of these solutions, that it is nearly as expensive as it once was.
No,
And so I don't think that that argument of that it's the cost of a traditional annuity, that it's got that overhead or
just
headwind
understand though,
is not
Chad,
true
that
anymore.
expense is not just the cost of the product. Expense is also the net of the gross
Absolutely.
of the investments and whatever. So you can't just go, oh, it's 40 basis points. It's not
No, for
expensive.
sure.
Well,
And
because
they're making
yeah.
massive spreads on it most of the time. That's why the fund families like it. That's why these companies offering these solutions like it. I get all of that. But if we're saying it's right for them to get a guarantee at that point, then I don't see what's wrong with us trying to say we need to get it in the hands of more people and the accounts of more people. And so using targeted qualified default investment alternatives for the people that it fits in, I'm in. I think that that's perfectly acceptable.
Here we go again, though, with the fiduciary responsibility aspect of, oh, if you're 62 and you have north of $250,000, we will
Yeah.
automatically default you into the guaranteed income, whatever. Like that's got its own fucking cracks in it of like
For
where you
sure
could
it
point
does.
at it and feel like it's not so good. I will tell you this: a small birdie has private messaged me and LinkedIn telling me that a lot of these firms are gaining traction in terms of contracts with record keepers. So even like Woolney's Income America, I believe, is actually making a lot of deals with record keepers and getting placed on their platforms. But again, I don't think that that's the answer that they need. Just because you get on the platform doesn't mean people are going to invest in it. So I guess my only takeaway from this would just be put on your don't have your beer goggles on when you're looking at these things, trying to talk to you about being the qualified default investment alternative, because the conspiracy tinfoil hat guy in me thinks that's their only option to make some money off this thing. And that's their pivot. That's what they're going to. They hadn't originally said they were going to do that.
Hey, JD, on topic, off topic, and I don't know the answer to this one. These guaranteed solutions, do they have market value adjustments if the plans move, if they're leaving?
I think they can all be set up differently, but I don't.
Hey, Chad, good job not acronyming that because I know you wanted to.
It's a conversation in every single takeover plan right now, every single one. And so my thought is, if these things do take off and they start to gather significant assets, and plans are going to move, and I know we're trying to make them portable, but they're not really portable right now. Are we going to see some massive adjustments
if they had those? If they do have those embedded in them, that would put fuel to the fire of being against this kind of shit, right? That's the last thing you want to see is, oh, you can't leave because you're going to be hit with this big penalty. How about we play a new game? Like the old days when Brandon would come up with the games, and because he's a smart guy. And we're going to talk about AI in a little,
Oh, God.
In a little bit. And so Brandon has put together some photographs, and you all out there in the audience, you can play along.
Wait, so what I'm hearing is Brandon didn't do it. He just typed something in and something else did it for him.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. So I'm going to show you groups of two of pictures, and you're going to vote which one is the one created by artificial intelligence and which one is actually a photo. And everyone out there, you can play along as well too. Okay, Brandon, this was the first genre. Okay, little wooden dolls. Here is what we will call photograph A.
Okay.
Little wooden dolls. Now show us photograph B. This is B. Which one of these is real and which one is generated by a fucking Terminator robot?
Or you want us to say it out loud, or
no? I had it reversed. A is fake, B is real.
A lot of A's.
I'm saying A is real, B is fake.
And I believe, Brandon,
B is real.
I'll just show the one that is AI afterwards. So
okay.
This is the AI.
Have a drink there, B.
The
Yes.
first
I
one.
didn't think it looked to me like the
I get
seams
one
of
point.
the wood was not
It's way
filled
too
in in
clean.
number
It's
two.
clean and the colors are good.
The
Yeah.
Senso got it right. Okay, next one. Froggies, little froggies. This frog
That's real. That's real.
I gotta
It's
move my
real.
chat bar.
and
Gotta be
the next
right.
frog, the next frog.
That's real. No,
Oh, for
that's
sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
first one's
A's
first
real,
one's
B's
real.
fake.
I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
It's A. It's got to be A. That's the
Yep.
that's a
So
fake
that's
one.
the fake one.
Yeah. Okay, we got that one right. Got that one right. I
The
can
leaf,
tell.
the leaf
What
gave it away.
what is it about it? It almost looks like.
The lighting is just too perfect for these subjects.
Okay. It looks mystical,
For
kind
me,
of.
yeah, that's what I. Yeah,
Fix
I mean, you
your
can
bless
create that in a photo for sure, but
Sure.
it's got to be Photoshop.
There's something about it though. Okay, next one. I don't know how many we have, but ooh, in the water.
That's
That's
real.
got to be.
I think that's
Real.
real too. I
Yeah,
think that's real.
that's real.
Okay.
Look at the snorkel.
The next water one. Yeah, right.
Oh damn.
It's got
Ooh,
that.
I'm sticking with it. Yeah, I think the
Come
first
back
one's
out,
the
dude.
first
Can you
one's
keep it
real.
up?
One's
Smaller?
real, two's fake.
I need
Yeah.
to see the water.
I'm with you. A is real. Sampo says A is real. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
A was a little blurry.
I mean, it's good, but you can tell. Okay. All right. I think we got another one.
Yeah, I mean, if we weren't trying to compare, I would not be able to tell.
That looks fucking
Right.
real to me. That looks real. Woman staring at
No.
mountains.
Bring it closer again.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going.
All right, A is real.
A is real.
A is real.
Everybody? Yeah, he should. Yes. Okay, it's not that
Yeah.
hard. One more, Brad?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, we only have two that we're comparing, but
not that hard. Oh, surfer
Good
guys.
one.
Okay.
JD back
That's
in the
real.
day,
No,
I do
Fresh-
not-
freshly shaved.
I can get deep on this.
That's
Yeah,
That's-
the
that's
vignette
not real.
just throws
It's not
off.
real.
It's got to be.
That's not real.
fake.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you why it's not real. One is I have no idea what that guy's wearing. Like,
hair.
is that an Adidas thing or something? Okay, what's the
Yeah,
next
JD's
one?
gonna wear the wetsuit.
Yeah, the first one is fake.
Yeah,
I
say
B's,
first
B's
one.
real.
Yes. Wow.
Hey,
We're
we
pretty much
played
100%.
just to give everybody a thought of JD's skill set in this. We played a game back in the day where you could look at any surfer in a magazine and not show him the name, and he would know by the sponsors and the colors exactly what surfer it was on every single picture.
Yeah.
It was
It'd be like you guys looking at a football player
We used
in
to do
an,
that with the Reef Girls.
in an Eagles jersey with number 10, and you'd be like, oh, that's so-and-so. It's kind of like that.
Wouldn't know.
Okay,
Oh, we're still doing
people.
this. Are we still going?
Yeah, let's try the person in the
Oh.
office. Did he show us one already, or is this the first
No.
one?
It looks like, yeah,
That's
That looks
fake.
fake.
That's
That
fake. That's
looks
fake.
that's fake.
That looks
Yeah.
fake.
Where's the other one?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go. with the
Yeah.
second one.
Oh.
This
Second
first
one's
one.
fake.
The first. No.
I'm
First one's
mixing it up.
fake.
I'm
No.
going first one's.
First
the
one's
first
fake.
one
This
we
one's
saw.
fake.
Do you say this one's fake?
What is this?
No.
I'm gonna say that
sorry.
one's fake.
This one. I. Okay.
This one is real. Is
Sorry.
what you're saying?
Yeah. I
This
think
is the
that's-
second one in my
Okay.
mind. But if this was the first
Okay.
one he showed us, this one's real.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, we're pretty much 100%.
What I've noticed is they all have dark like vignettes around the edges. All of the
Yeah, they're highlighting their.
yeah,
Well,
all of the artificial ones.
Next time I'll tell the GPT to take off the vignette, or I guess
Right,
it's
yeah.
I used Mid Journey.
Yeah,
Next
can you-
time, hey,
But let's be
Nate,
honest, though, these
sure.
are pretty fucking amazing.
next time do the same picture. Would that be harder? You think?
I used the set. I grabbed stock photography and then I took their description and I just fed it into Mid Journey.
Just ask them next time to make
Ooh, vignette.
ask
Good call, Sam.
ask the artificial intelligence to make their pictures look less artificial intelligence. That'd be a good prompt. Okay, artificial intelligence. This we talked about this we're not playing the game anymore, Brad. We've talked.
I thought that there was just pictures of Justin and Chad from their weekend skiing.
We talked about this in the past, and like past years, and we kind of joked about it. And in after shows, Brandon would come on all drunk, telling us that like
I miss those times.
right
Yeah.
that artificial intelligence is going to like answer the phone at a third party administrator in the future and answer questions for a client you wouldn't even know. And I'd be like, oh, he's so conspiracy theory. Oh, that's so funny. Like that's not going to happen unless it's like 20 years from now. And the more and more I'm seeing this stuff, it's like, this is going to happen. Like,
it is happening and you don't even know.
it's happening.
It's the worst.
People
Nice knowing
are
you, boys.
people are building out, I don't know the correct term for it, but you can pick a genre like retirement plan, because obviously they're building it for medical stuff or whatever, right? But so you could, in theory, and I think this is already happening, I know Tony's playing around with it, different people, but you can create an artificial intelligence and then train it in a specific field like retirement plan. And the same way that these things are passing the bar, they could become an ERISA attorney. Like, right, yeah, I'll drink.
That's 2, right?
Right now, why is it 2? Right now, I pay for, I think, 2 services where my team can double check their answers in terms of like complicated compliance things. Yes, what's up, Chad?
I didn't know we have those resources.
Yeah, we pay for ERISApedia and we pay for oh shit. And we pay for the book you love, and that comes with some, and even at our compliance software allows us a certain amount of technical questions per month or whatever. Anyways, my point is, in the future or very soon, you could just hop right onto a little fucking chat GPT thing and ask it questions that you would ask Fred Reish or Tom Clark or whomever, and it's gonna, isn't that the death of that business model in general?
I don't think so. I think that there's an advantage to interpretation and communication and being able to hold people liable. We need attorney opinions.
Okay,
we need attorney opinions all the time. Where I do think the potential risk is in our space is not so much the niche business like the compliance side, will be general education, like the advisor or perhaps record keeper side, and general questions being answered, maybe not the deep questions.
Oh, I disagree with you. I think what makes it more powerful is that it would be a better attorney than Fred Reish. It would be a better attorney than Thomas Clark because they're human. They can only pull on so many things. And this computer, this artificial intelligence would have the absolute knowledge of everything. And my point is that you could now, you can pass up all these humans and go get the answers that you need.
Getting the answer is only as good as the cue you give it, right? Like what you're putting in there to answer the question or to ask the question. And I think we all know it is not a singular level question. Most of what we ask is about interpreting this, then figuring out this, then that leads to this, and then here's the answer we're trying to get to. And I haven't figured out how to prompt that for artificial intelligence.
But the tech is so new. I think that will become a thing.
Thank you, Justin. And also what
to that.
I think what you're
I don't know how this is any different from Google.
I think what you're
it's night and day difference.
Chad, sarcasm. Have you heard of it?
Oh, okay.
I think what you're missing is the next step where you're going to, God, all these are acronyms, but you're going to the system we go to today that's so popular that's in all the news, and you're typing it in. That's how you see it right now. And it's very impressive. But what's going to happen is it's going to be built into a more niched ecosystem that's retirement plan. And so when you talk about trying to put in the right prompt, that won't be as true at all. Someone will build a product around it. Now, mind you, when I say that the attorneys are in jeopardy, let me look in the mirror. In theory, I went today and I asked it to run. I sent it to you guys. I asked it to run an ADP. God damn it!
Did he send it to you guys?
It was in an email. I sent to you.
You saw it.
You got it too, dude.
Yeah, so I asked it really simple. I said, hey, you got this highly compensated employee. They're making this is their salary. This is how much they defer. It was really easy. I go, you got these 3 other employees. They're non-highly comp. They make this much. They defer this much. Do they pass their actual deferral percentage test? Chat, whatever, alpha. And it answered totally accurately. Okay, what was going on? And then I prompted it again with, okay, how do I solve this? Like, what are the corrective distributions that we would make to the highly comped? And it went through the whole thing and to a T described for me the process and of how much money the highly comped would have to take back. And
Hey, JD, you really shouldn't be telling everybody how we service clients right now.
taxable income. And then the only thing is, Justin made comment about it in the email, and then it fucked up the math. It literally got the math wrong.
Well, I mean, it just did the formula wrong, but it had everything else right. The process was wrong. Everything else was right, right?
So it did go wrong. But my point is, like Justin said, it's still early days. It's going to fix itself. You could literally like not need a third-party administrator anymore. You could just go to some stupid fucking robot and say, run me compliance tests for these 1,000 census data I'm about to dump into your system, and tell me, and someone builds it. Get your mind outside of the prompt and then the response. Someone's going to package it in a much deeper technology and software.
Would to put the tinfoil hat on and ask the question I don't know the answer to, would you see a hacker perhaps creating a bunch of fake prompts to screw up the artificial intelligence? Because we're teaching it the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, right? We're essentially giving it what it needs to figure out these answers. That means we need to depend on what's in the internet and what people are feeding it to learn from.
Okay, you continue.
Yeah, but there's so much more on the internet that will overpower
It'll
just
overpower
like Wikipedia. That's what people say about Wikipedia.
Yeah,
You
but
can't trust
Chad,
what you
but
read
Chad,
on Wikipedia.
you continue to analyze it. I'm just going to say the word based on how you see Chat GPT right now. Try to look at it more like, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to have my own
401k show or an artificial intelligence show.
No, this is about 401k. I'm going to start my own.
Talking about artificial intelligence. Somewhat.
I'm going to start my own 401k business. Maybe I should be doing this. And I'm going to find some dope ass artificial intelligence software and I'm going to build my own product solution. So it's not about putting in a prompt or whatever. I'm going to build it all out and make sure it has the right answers, the right questions.
Okay, I get
and
that.
therefore you can't fuck with it, Chad. You can't teach it to make wrong answers or whatever. I'm just going to build it. And remember when we had the stacks artificial intelligence guy on, and he was doing, we can scan the statements and we can do the vendor uploads. And I was like, okay, big deal. But then he said, realistically in the future, anything that a human is doing on your software, moving a mouse, hitting a key, clicking on a thing, and I'm going to talk about in ours actuarial services corporation or whatever we use, anything that a human's doing, that chief executive officer in the after show said we could build that. Where artificial intelligence could do it. So, that's why, Justin, this is relevant to our industry in a big way. And then think about, are they going to pay you to do third-party administrative work for $2,500 a year when a fucking computer could do 1,000 of them in a millisecond?
So should we be looking for new jobs?
No, because I'm your leader. I'm gonna make artificial intelligence program. I say with bourbon in my mouth, and I'm gonna put all the other TPAs out of business, motherfucker.
So I just get to sit back and
I will say publicly, JD will follow you into the fire. Guys, let's start our own company.
That's just artificial intelligence right there.
Just joking, but it could realistically. I'm going to go the classic answer, which is
you could build into that program to screw every other artificial intelligence up. No,
can't access that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have it locked off.
All I can say is
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard.
That there are some very, very smart people who are wanting to slow this artificial intelligence stuff down.
True.
I stand in that corner. Like I'm just.
But they're not getting anywhere. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Well, yeah. Who can prevent this? Right. It is what it is. But boy, does it really does suck to think of the future now. It does. Like I think of, my son and my daughter, I'm going to tell my son to be a plumber, right? You can't artificially intelligent plumbing, right? And I mean, it is what it is. So I get into trade schools. College is irrelevant because you can just write your papers through artificial intelligence now. I'm not going to believe anything I read online that anyone ever writes anything. So good luck to people who publish blogs and articles. Nevin, whatever you put up, dude, it's not you. You're probably just plugging a prompt in. So I've lost faith in humanity. And so I'm just going to go about my business and live my life.
I do think on the use it as a tool concept, before the robots take over, there will be a period of time where entrepreneurs will leverage this and make phenomenal business models that could really.
There's a very different approach. You're an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. You're like, yeah, I'm going to do all this and I'm going to make all kinds of money. And then I'm over here like, I need a job.
Right. That's right. Because I could.
Someone's still got to sell it, Mark.
We'll move on, but I just think this is a fascinating topic, and I think that it's moving at such a fast pace that it's not a joke, really. Like there's gonna be. I mean, I know people already that are working on secure 2.0 ones, Chad, where you can go in and ask it a question. That's exactly what you would call an attorney for. So, anyways, we'll move on. Okay.
Thanks, Brandon.
I was gonna do one show without the wheel of ice, but
No, you weren't. Yes, you were. You should do it without the wheel of ice, JD.
3 months strong, kids.
yeah,
I'm going to get a Malort.
Let's work on our investment game. Let's do some drunk stock tips, shall we? I'm not going to walk you through the history, but I will tell you that if you look at all of Roby's advice, it's still looking solid. I would say since the time we started it, the market's kind of had its ups and downs and has been relatively flat since we started doing this segment. But your picks are still looking really, really solid across the board. But maybe next time I'll update. Last time I updated everyone and everything, Brandon told me it was too long-winded, so I won't do that. Here
I think
today.
we just needed to have a rolling little thing up in one of these corners that shows how much money you would make.
Oh, that'd be really easy to do. Do you want to program that for me, or can you get?
Oh yeah, can artificial intelligence do it?
So let's get right to it. Looked around at some different companies. There's a name in the news. And it's a popular store. It's around lots of places. I got one right down the street from me. I feel like Roby shops there at times. It's Bed, Bath, and Beyond.
Ooh. Wow, this is an easy one. What
dude,
are we doing?
Well, mind you,
they don't exist anymore. They went bankrupt, and
they have not. They're struggling to avoid bankruptcy. So I'm thinking, maybe this is an opportunity to catch them on the downside,
You're going for a GameStop throw right here, aren't you?
Let me ask artificial intelligence real fast.
Do you have it, Bob? Do you have it?
All right. It's actually funny you say this. We were
nice web.
My daughter and I were playing catch, as we sometimes do in our living room. And she threw the ball too hard and it hit like this picture on the wall and it didn't fall off, but I was like, whoa, careful. She's like, did you paint that, Dad? Okay, good to know. I said,
make a joke.
It's at an all-time low. So
no. I said, no, I didn't paint that. She said, where did you get that? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Could have been anywhere, really. Maybe it was Bed, Bath, and Beyond. I don't know. The word just kind of came out of my mouth. And she goes, what's that? And I'm like, yeah, you don't even know what that is because they're closing down. And she's like, what can you buy there? And I said, oh, just like towels and other kitchen stuff. And it's like, you know what? I registered there when I was getting married. So I have heartstrings attached to this store that I remember looking at dishes that we never used and cups that we never used and things we registered that we probably just threw away. So Yeah, that's my backstory to this company. And I know that they're closing. There's one right down the way here that I believe already closed. It's sad. You see these empty buildings everywhere. It's kind of like what Toys R Us did, and it's just sad. I'm sure a Spirit Halloween will go into there in October. It's going to be fantastic. But
they're getting lean. They're getting their overhead
What's
down.
the current stock price today?
30 cents.
Yeah.
30 cents?
Yeah, from a
Okay.
in August of last year, it was at
You know why they lost so much money is because they
$20.
sent everybody those massive blue flyers every week saying $25 off or whatever it was. They killed too many trees and now they're paying their price. My answer for you, my recommendation for you all is that stock will be zero soon. They are shutting them all down. They will not be in existence. They don't deserve to be in existence because guess what? There was never a beyond. The beyond is this. You're bankrupt.
Bed Bath and bankrupt?
They're not bankrupt yet, no. Yeah.
So
JD, it's
I'm
30
saying,
cents a share. It was at $30 a share back in 2020.
That's what I'm saying. It's got nowhere to go but up, bro.
no.
That's what I
can
said
go down
about
to
Laird
2 or what?
Food.
Yeah.
Remember when I said that about Laird Hamilton's food company? That went wrong for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So no,
Did you
I'm out.
invest in them?
I'm out entirely.
All right, we'll see where it's
To infinity and beyond.
Bankruptcy!
we'll see where it sits on its 30 cents in a couple months. Okay, let's see. Let's do chat bar champion. Last week's champ was Tony Davis. And I sent him some stuff. What did I send him? I don't know. I gotta look it up. Let's see. I sent him stuff for his cat. Or does he have more than one cat? I feel like he's got more than one cat. I feel like when I close my eyes and pretend he has like 12 cats that live with him, but I'm sure it's just a few. I sent him the Pet Stages Kitty Cat Play Condo Ice Cream Truck Cat Toy.
Yeah.
Aww. Okay. All right. Anyways, I like that little back. Look at this. He goes under the thing and it like scratches your back.
I want one.
I want like a human one, right? That'd be dope. I also got him the Pet Stages Cheese Chase Ball Track Cat Toy. It's this little toy you knock around. I got him one of those like 70s style carpet fucking hangout things, like it's a carpet on the outside, but you can go in there. It's a little tunnel and you can sit up on top of it. And then I got him some drugs. I got him some
catnip.
Some hemp fucking calm your cat down.
You got cat edibles?
Some kush for the cat, some cat kush. So yeah, there you go, Tony. Whatever. Hopefully your cats have fun with that. Who's your vote for Chat Bar Champion Silent J?
Ooh, I got to flip coins between Greg and Brad. They were great. Greg Greenfield? Yep.
I actually talked to him on the phone the other day. He called me for some consultation on some Empower thing he's dealing with. So it's good to talk to Greg in real life. Mark, your vote for Chat Bar Champion?
Yeah, it was Greg.
Ooh, Greg.
Yeah.
Chadwick?
Ooh, no doubt it was Greg.
Oh, well, there you go.
The comment of automatic enrollment, go to bed because you're drunk was enough to win me over right there.
I like a Chad balance plan.
I'll vote for Brian Graf then. That's my vote for Chat Bar Champion.
Your vote means nothing, JD.
We should send him something.
Congratulations, GG. I'll
You
drink
go,
for that.
Greg. You go.
Let me ask the chat bar. Anyone in the chat bar that attended the National Association of Plan Advisors 401k Summit? Would any of you, Sampo says yes, Hackler says yes. Would any of you like to hop on a little square box and tell us a bit about your experience?
I'm just hopping this one. I got to roll.
Yeah, you can bail.
I would say have him just stop it right here. Anyways.
What's in Brandon's got a box?
Oh, wait, go ahead.
Brandon's got a box.
Uh,
Shorey's game, Aaron Hall's game. Okay. Let's bring Aaron Hall in. Brandon, if you can you elevate Aaron Hall?
She was a speaker. She's partial. She's going to say nothing but good things.
It's okay.
Well, I've heard one bad thing, all good things. So I want some dirt now.
I've got a little bit of dirt.
If it wasn't Flow Rida, who performed this year?
It was the fucking. It was what's his name again?
What's up, guys?
McGrath.
What's up?
What's up, E-Hall?
Okay, so you were in sunny San Diego.
Yeah,
Attended the deal. You've been to it in the past years, yes?
absolutely.
So tell us this year, how was it for you?
I thought this year was great. Sometimes the content is more interesting than other times. I found this year there were competing sessions that I wish I could have gone to more.
That's
My
good.
favorite session. What's that?
I said that's tough.
that's a good thing. That's what you want when you're putting on an event like that.
Yeah, and there were so many top advisors who were on panels. There was a really, really good one with Jeff Atchison, Janie Stout, and Jeannie Sutton talking about sales strategies, which I went because they're all my friends, but I got some real great stuff from that session. And the one from the attorneys with Tom Clark and Jamie and them was
really good.
Really good, but also, also terrifying. I was taking notes about, what can elevate your risk litigation profile. And I'm taking notes. And at one point I just wrote to myself, have a 401k plan. Like it was
That's motivating.
Yeah, I know. And I wasn't even trying to be funny to myself, but I was just halfway through it. I just found myself writing that down.
Well, I always feel like every time I see Tom Clark speak, he's got a real authenticity to him that I enjoy listening to as an ERISA attorney. How about the experience all in of a conference of registering, signing in, getting your little lanyard, then kind of I like the design look of it all.
Tchotchke's favorite tchotchke.
Yeah, the little carnival aspect. How are the sponsors booths? What was the experience like beyond the content?
Yeah, well, San Diego was great. You came in and it was sunny on Saturday, sunny San Diego, or Sunday. Both days were gorgeous. The walking from the hotel, so unlike Vegas, it's not, it's still a long walk, but I stayed at the Marriott, so my walk was longer than those that stayed at the Hyatt, but I was all pretty inclusive. The events that the sponsors put on before After Dark, what was it, Monday night? All of them were awesome. I was in some rooftop thing overlooking like Petco Park. And
there's
events.
different ones, right? Because there's there's 2,500 of you, so they can't put you all in one like little spot.
Oh yeah. No, and the sponsors are critical to the success of the event. So they all, you get invited as an advisor, you get invited to a bunch of different ones and try to.
So it sounds like in the world of Aaron Hall, this was a successful. We're in the after show now, sort of, kind of. Can I say acronyms?
Yeah,
successful NAPA Summit for you.
That was great. Webby, the layout was fine. The layout once you got there was exhibit hall downstairs and then ballroom and, other breakouts upstairs. It was easy to get around, once you get there. For the ladies, it's always a problem, but.
I don't know who Brian's iPhone is, but they voiced the one complaint I've heard, which was he said segment it like advanced, beginner, and then sales side, and then compliance side, like segment it so that we know kind of what we're really focusing in on and we can attend the right sessions. The one complaint I've heard is that it was too
we weren't
30,000 foot level for
surface level, the
advanced people that were there, the advisors that are part of NAPA. Some of the sessions, not some of the other ones that they were excited about. And this is 3 people I've heard it from, so not a big audience.
So
that they wanted more, like they wanted.
Yeah, I'll say, I think, it's a massive conference. I think that's a solid idea. I know in the non-qualified plan advisor conference, of which I'm on the planning committee, we absolutely do that. And for any advisors looking to broaden their business, we'll plug, go to the non-qual conference. It's absolutely
I'm in.
like that. We actually have 3 tracks this year. To that point,
isn't everybody a novice when it comes to non-qual?
I am, and that's why I want to go to it.
Sorry.
You know, I'm on the planning committee, and there are some sessions just for beginners that I would go to again. It is a deep knowledge, but at that conference you get enough to be able to talk about it, and that's enough to start. And then call Jeff Atchison or call someone else that you meet there to get some help. But I digress. I think the tracks are a good idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea. I've never seen that at a conference. That'd be really smart. Like label it as novice, intermediate, advanced, or something.
Probably don't call it novice. Might not get a lot of
emerging.
Well, the truth is, I think you kind of would.
baby advisors.
I like turtles.
I think the novice advisor right now, because they're in states where they're mandated to do work for their clients that they've never done before. I think maybe NAPA's not a good event for that.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones where you have some really green advisors, novice sessions would be great. I have advisors that call me all the time that listen into our show, and they'll comment like, hey, I got 30% of it. And it was a really good 30%, but the rest of it was like over my head. I didn't get the content. And I said, yeah, that's not, we're trying to pick topics that are relevant to everybody, but we also try to give the people like Aaron some actual insight of what we're seeing when we're out there. So it's hard to do. It's nearly impossible.
It's hard to do at NAPA because NAPA wants, to cast a wide net, but also level everybody up. And in order to do that,
it's hard when you have Aaron's and Alex's and others and Jania's attending. Like these are people that are sitting on stage speaking. You can't give value, real deep value to everybody on every topic.
I don't know.
By the way, plug to Shorey. I heard a lot of people. I wasn't able to attend her session. A lot of people said hers was the best one.
There's a shocker. Yeah, it's very typical. Yeah, I think that Aaron, you hit on the nail. I've always felt like that with a lot of presentations, no matter the conference or the gig. Like most presenters like to kind of skim along the surface, and they don't dive deep into these things because that's more difficult to get into that stuff. And to Chad's point, it doesn't always reach everyone, but I do think that there's nothing worse than sitting through a presentation and being like, okay, I didn't learn anything new.
Like get to it. But my point back, JD, and maybe I'm wrong, but NAPA is kind of the elite of the elite. Like most of the people are paying to be there. It's a really good conference. Like I would think that's the one where you go deeper. You don't need the beginner courses there.
I don't want to put you on the
and I'm
spot.
not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying of all conferences, I feel like that's the one you get deep in.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Aaron, so you can plead the fifth or whatever if you want to, but did you see the Family Feud thing? And how did that go for you think?
It was fun because, I know a lot of the people that were
aggregators versus Wirehouse. Okay.
Yeah. Pat Wenzel was hilarious. She's my girl. She was like befuddled that the answers that should have been there, which we all agreed should have been there, were not there. It was quite funny in some parts to see the answers that these 600 plan sponsors gave compared to what we as advisors think.
Oh, that's what it was. It was it's what the plan sponsor said the answer is.
And I want to say that they polled the participants' clients. They kept saying that, like, these are your clients.
Oh.
So it made me feel like the actual 10 advisors maybe submitted their client names to be to be surveyed. I don't know.
I thought they pulled it off. Because like to Chad's point, when I put the post out today that we'd talk about this tonight, I got some people private messaging me some negative stuff. People love to bitch, right?
Oh, of course. Those are the ones that talk.
And someone told me that the Family Feud style show struggled a bit and left something to be desired. And then someone else wrote me, it was really negative, and said that it felt like the heart or the spirit had waned from this conference. And I was like, whoa.
Everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Yeah. One other person used the word sterile. And I was like, oh shit. But Erin says no, it was good from her perspective. Remember,
I thought it was funny. I didn't think anyone was stiff. I thought the participation was good. There in the beginning, they did like a 20-minute "Who are you? Tell me a fun fact" as if they were Steve Harvey. That I could have done without. But I thought the surveys and the content was
good.
Fun. It's supposed to be fun, you guys.
People
It's
like to
gotta,
bitch about
gotta be a
shit,
little intriguing.
especially
See you,
when they're
Mark.
writing me.
Enjoy
All right.
See ya.
soccer.
See you later, Mark. All right, Aaron,
Bye.
we're gonna get rid of you, and we're gonna see if Bill Shorey is more of an
Yes.
asshole. He's a New Yorker kind of guy. He might be pissed
See you,
off.
Aaron.
It's good to see you, Aaron.
You too.
Happy
Thanks for jumping
26th
on.
birthday. Good for you. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
All right,
Go
Brandon.
Bills.
Brandon, let's get rid of Aaron. Let's see if you can bring Shorey's in. Bill, turn on your camera for me.
There we go.
There he is.
Hey, guys.
Brandon, can you let Aaron get back to her life?
Bill, you're wearing the color, the weekly color, which is black. I'm not
Right.
wearing it tonight because it's Easter week.
It's
So
my Montauk Downs golf shirt. Anyway,
Bill, good to see you. You made the
good to see you
trek.
too, gents.
You made the trek to San Diego.
I did for the NAPA conference, and my son is now stationed there at the
Oh.
Marine Corps Recruiting Depot.
Cool.
thank you to your son.
Yeah, he's the drill instructors report to him. He's getting promoted to captain in the summer, so he's doing well. Good
Nice.
to see him.
And you got to hang out with him. You
Oh
have
yeah,
time.
yeah. He's
Very
living in Logan Heights, so
Okay.
bit of an
That's
interesting
cool.
neighborhood. Yeah,
Okay.
but he's doing all right.
Were you guys a sponsor there as well?
Oh yeah, Diamond sponsor. So that's
wow.
mid
The big dog.
mid to upper five figures. So
Ooh, we're getting all the good.
Gosh.
I didn't have questions like that for you, but I love that. Let me write that down. That's good.
I did. I
I'll give you a
forget.
specific amount. You know,
I forget
Mid to
who
upper.
it was, but someone wrote in the chat bar and shit, forgive me for whoever it was, but had said that it was like 10 grand to sponsor a table.
yeah. So if you look at the size of the booths, we had the normal size booth, not the small size, but then there's the monster booths.
They let them drag in
more.
their big like light box kind of stuff if they want to, right? In a big room.
Exactly.
So that's probably 175 grand or something, or who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we did that once at Oppenheimer Funds. We did that platinum or whatever the top level is, and now we're content and happy with diamond.
Someone's got to pay for all that shit. Okay, so you've been to it before.
Oh yeah.
Again, I think when I put this out there and people private message me, I think I tend to get the negative people. I think they feel like, oh, JD wants dirt. Let me give him some dirt. No,
Yeah.
I want the honest truth. We
Yeah.
didn't get it go. When you look at from LinkedIn, I see all these like happy people and great pictures, and I love their little carnival aesthetic. They had everything. It looked like they let put a lot of time and energy and all that. So how was your experience just in general as a conference compared to the old ones?
In general, I've already recommended and suggested we sponsor again next year. We're very happy with the results as a sponsor. If you're looking for negative stuff, I'll give you two. I wasn't there personally, but everybody that attended the country fair atmosphere thing said it was a bit of a disappointment in terms
Oh, really?
of
It
was held indoors, so it was inside the convention center. So a lot of people thought it would be outside, and the acoustics with the band were not good, being that it was in a concrete structure, and so that was.
It's hard to think of all those little details like that, but I hear you. If you're going to do a carnival style with dunk tanks and whatever, it would make more sense to have a blue sky over the top of you and being outdoors.
Yeah. So I'm not just going by what other people had told me.
Yeah.
I wasn't there myself. And then the sponsor sessions on the last day, each of the sponsors gets to hold a session, and they set them up in rooms for 50 people. We had 87 people that weren't Invesco people. So with the Invesco people, we had over 100 people in the room for a room set up for 50. So we had people sitting on the floor.
So you like
I heard that a number of times, that it was standing room only in sessions. Like the attendance for sessions was great. People weren't running out to be somewhere else. They were in session.
So, what I would hope they do is let people pre-pick their sessions before the conference where you register
and then
in
scale the rooms to
so they can open a wall, put more seats in, and because some sessions had 20 people, and they weren't full. Others, I know Wilmington Trust had a very good crowd. We had a very good crowd. There was one other one that had a very
good advice. I wonder how realistic it is if you sit in their shoes. Like, to get everyone to actually fill out what they want to go see before they arrive. Like maybe they're like, yeah, right, Bill, we can't get everyone to do that.
Yeah, it's also insightful to see the rooms that are standing room only, and then format your conference the next year with content that is similar, because they know that's what people want to hear.
Yeah. And as a sponsor, this is the only conference where I suggest to my entire team that they try to attend. It's not mandatory, but all 9 of my field people were there. A couple of home office people were there because
it's a national conference. It's not
a
regional.
national conference. Yeah, all the top advisors, come to this.
Do you feel when you're? I always think of a sponsor standing at your booth that you paid all this money for, and you've got your little stress ball squeezers and your pens out in front of you and your Pro V1s, and it seems like a sad moment to me. You're waiting for people to come up and talk to you. But are you saying no, that you're getting a lot of action at the table and a lot of...
Oh, no, but booth time is depressing.
It is.
Because I equate it to adult Halloween, because you have grown adults walking around with trick-or-treat bags, engaging in very superficial, blatantly, disingenuous conversation just so they can grab an ice cream scooper and move on to the next table.
Did someone have ice cream? That's smart.
We had ice cream. We had ice cream and we gave out ice cream scoops. So it was get the scoop from Invesco, and
such a bummer.
Yeah.
I think of like Chad and I are both the nerd types. Like if you gave me a room of sponsors, I'm not kidding here.
Yeah.
I don't want your ice cream scoop and I don't want your fucking tchotchke.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chad and I would sit down and go, okay, who are the companies that we need to go talk to right now that we can learn something from, that we want to know, like what they're up to and what they're doing? And because I've literally done that at conferences, Chad.
I'm in such disagreement with that statement though, JD, from a marketing perspective, solely with my business development brain on. I just want people to step up, and I want their email addresses, and I want them to hear our brand name. And I don't care if I get superficial conversation or if we're talking about plan design consultants. Like, I want to interact. Even when we've done these with Retireholics, we never talk about what we actually do.
Yeah.
It is always a superficial conversation, but it ends up leading to a relationship, some sort of follow-up beyond there. That's what you're searching for with the booth.
Chad, you're 100% right. I mean, it's when I was saying that about the superficial conversation, there are a bunch of people that have no interest in what you have to say.
Yeah.
They're there for the tchotchke, but they tend to be the minority, given the level of advisor, the quality of the advisor that attends NAPA. They're paying good money to be there, so it tends not to be the guys or gals that are just there for the freebies and a free lunch. So
I totally disagree with you, Chad. Like which is not uncommon, but when I used to go to these things and I was a sponge in my brain, and I wanted to go find the things I didn't know, like I'd see.
Yeah, but you're not doing that at a marketing booth. Like if anything, I walked around and grabbed their flyers, but JD, everything is online now. So unless you're going to unless you want to talk to Bill or his team about something that Invesco is doing, you don't go to that booth. Like you're going to write him on LinkedIn. You're going to find a different way of getting actual time with him, not while they're trying to hand out tchotchkes.
You're not going to go up and talk to them about.
Yeah, what we did for the first time this year is we lightened up a lot on the literature and just had QR codes for people to scan.
Right, so they scan
it. And what's that look like? Because you can follow that. How many people scanned it?
But yeah, my marketing group hasn't gotten that for me.
And that would be an interesting stat.
But at our sponsored session, we scanned everybody's badge that came into the room. That's why I know we had 87 advisors, because we scanned 87 badges that got the presentation, that got the content, and we will be following up with those people.
Good. That's good tech, but you could run a webinar and get 87 people and reach out to them too, though. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay 80 grand for it.
Yeah, but JD, if you're not there, you're nobody. Like we weren't there. We weren't there, right. And it was sad.
There, you're very right, Chad. If you're not there, then you're thinking, "Whoa, where's Voya? Where's Hancock? Where's whatever?" Right. So I get that point, Chad. I was not talking about it from the sponsor's perspective. I was talking about it from me as a participant.
Yeah.
Avoiding it, and I'd want to go learn things.
And you're coming from the biggest, in my opinion, nerd I do not walk up to those booths to learn anything. If I do, I walk up and I hand a card and say, let's connect afterwards. Like they've got a bigger job there than to try to teach me something at
I
that
think in
point.
today's day and age, there's lots of like new evolving tech and apps and things. And so things that you're not really aware of, that a conference is a great place to go like find out like, what is that thing? Like I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about. I can go over and look at it. I mean, I think that that's exciting and fun, but whatever. Okay, so Bill, you say you're coming back next year. It's thumbs up from Bill Shorey. So NAPA looks like it's been a success. Irrespective of the few haters that wrote me on LinkedIn private messages.
It was their highest attendance, best attendance ever. So
That's good to
from
hear.
both the sponsor and advisor point of view. So
Hey, good location too. Take that into consideration, Amanda and team, as you're planning next year.
Nashville.
West Coast is the good coast.
Nashville is next year.
Nashville.
Oh, boring.
Just
No, I'm
imagine
kidding. Nashville's incredible.
They had 2,500 people show up or more. I mean, imagine if the Retireholics were performing there. I mean, they probably would have had 4,000 to 5,000.
Imagine if the Retireholics were opening the hole that it didn't pull on the heartstrings and it wasn't fun. That comment won't exist if we open.
All right, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
Bill, great to see you.
Yep, same here, Chad. Good seeing you.
Thanks for sticking around. Oh, geez, I didn't even put out the news. My bad.
What news?
I blew it, Brandon. I guess I'll just do it on LinkedIn. And for those people who stuck around, we're gonna go every other week for the show now. So we're gonna take a week off, just like we did last week. I'll put out a big post about it.
I was gonna tell you, my son's baseball team, which I'm now coaching, is Thursday nights. It's only like 7 weeks long, but still it's gonna create some complication for me.
I brought it up to Brandon. I said, hey, that week off feels pretty good. I'm like, what do you think? Like, should we consider like just going every other week? And before I could finish my sentence, Brandon was like, yes, done. Let's do it. So
hey, how's your son's performance?
It's solid. He was hilarious. So last year, the first time he got in a big stage in an auditorium like that, he wouldn't wave at us. He wouldn't look at us. He wouldn't do anything. Tonight, he was like, we told him when he got up on stage that he should grab the mic and go, New Bloomfield, how you doing? He didn't do that, but the rest of it was great.
The meat was that Mark sending the songbird meme.
It was also Mark that focused in on the banner up there that showed that it was a fourth place, but it's fourth place in state. Like, yeah, you won your conference, you won your district, you're in state. Of course you put that up.
Songbird of my generation.
Yeah.
By people who've heard me. That good.
That good.
All right, good for him.
It was great. Yeah, thanks, B, for asking.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It's been another episode of Retireholics. We are the Retireholics. We are changing the retirement plan industry one pair at a time, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Same bat channel, same bat time. Well, not really. Every other week. We're gonna go like, what is it? First and third?
I'm gone the next 2 weeks, by the way.
I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Chad.
Good night, folks.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Happy, sweet